Hello viewers, Matt Gordy here with La Crosse Promise Future Center, and this is another entry to our virtual library. And this one is going to be about considering the military. And just to preface this presentation, there are plenty of people who know that they want to enlist in the military. They have a calling for duty. They seek to protect this country and the longevity of it. And this presentation really isn't for those people because they're very confident and they know that this is the direction they want to go in. This is for people who don't know what the military may have to offer them as a professional, as a civilian, as a growing individual. So this is for you to consider all those angles. So first off, with the military, you're going to have an opportunity to adventure and to explore a whole lot. Starting small with your training, you're going to travel to different bases across the country. And so you're likely going to leave the state of Wisconsin if you enlist in the military so that you can do your training for whatever branch you go into, for your basic training, and for your career job posting training within whatever branch you choose to enlist. After you complete your training, you may be deployed to a domestic location, or you might head to an international location. And so if you do want to travel internationally, the military is a great way to do that. You can see all sorts of countries and locations and venues, all with the support of the federal government at your back. The other thing about the military is it's going to give you the opportunity to connect with others, many diverse groups of people. And that can be within your military branch. It's bringing all sorts of people together from different walks of life, different experiences, different ideologies, and you're going to learn to work together. And that's something the military really prides itself is teamwork, and that you need to be able to collaborate and work with others to see a mission through and to find success. Additionally, you're going to develop unique and practical skills. So obviously, think of some unique skills. Your basic military training, you're going to learn some basic combat, whether your career is something very, very specific to the military. Those are going to be some unique skill sets that you're going to learn, like maybe you're working on an Air Force jet. Not going to be using those skills in too many other places, but then there are many practical skills like learning how to work with mechanical products, learning medical training, handling of animals, various things like that that are going to transcend very smoothly and very cleanly into civilian life so that you're preparing yourself. And lastly, the part of the adventure is testing yourself. This is going to push you. It's going to challenge you. It's going to change you, and likely for the better. And so if you're looking for that next frontier, that next challenge, the military might be it. Furthermore, there are a lot of college and career advantages that come with enlistment. So starting off small, you'll have your GI Bill and other financial resources to help you enroll in college. And so you're going to have a whole lot of support, both as a Wisconsin resident and as a member of the federal forces that are going to help you pay for college if you choose to return to college, or actually you can do some of those things simultaneously. One of the things that the military has put a huge emphasis on in the not so distant past is that when you leave your duty, you leave your assignment, you leave the military, that you leave with a civilian credential or college credit that puts you towards earning a credential. And so to give you an example of that, you might go into the Army and you go in to be a veterinarian technician for them, which is almost exclusively working with dogs that are doing combat jobs. And so when you leave, you don't necessarily have all the same training and experience that a standard civilian vet tech would have, but you clearly have learned a whole lot about animal control, the administering of medications and anesthesia and things like that to animals. And so you'll leave with a number of credits in place to complete your vet tech degree in the civilian world. And so that's something that the military and colleges have had to work very hard to do, is to collaborate and determine what all college credits should already be awarded to an enlisted member with various credentials from the military training and military careers. Additionally, you could be a lifer. You might end up really enjoying what you're doing in the military, and you wind up in a military career and that's going to pay you. It's going to pay you working wages. It's going to give you government benefits. It's going to give you early retirement advantages. And so there are a lot of things that you might say, that's cool, that's interesting. And to be in a military career does not mean that you're on the front lines fighting wars and things like that. If that's what you chose to do, if that was what your calling was, if that was ended up being a deployment assignment, sure, that might be part of it. But it's you are learning to find a job or a role to a functioning community, whether that's the Air Force, the Army, etc. So just to think about that as something you can do for a lifetime. And then there are plenty of crossover concepts, and so they're trying to teach you things like I mentioned before. Teamwork is one of the highest valued skills in the working world, and so them teaching you those things, dedication, mechanical skills, social skills, discipline, all these things are going to serve you well when you choose to leave inevitably at some point, whether it's retirement or moving on from the military. Now, just so you're aware of what your military branches are, you've got your Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and the newly designed Space Force, and the Coast Guard. So there are a lot of different opportunities with a lot of different jobs, with a lot of different roles to play within the grand scheme of the U.S. military, or for you looking for a career and a best fit for you in a lifestyle. So just to kind of think about those. So some final considerations for you here. The military and the recruiting process have both changed substantially. Your Hollywood version isn't real. I know that I had my own biases and stereotypes of what the military is, and the U.S. Army has invited me in to do various travel and experience trips so that I have a better perspective of it, and it's completely changed the way I view what the military has to offer. And so I want you to know that they have to be open and honest with you. Military recruiting is no longer so much about trying to get you to sign on the dotted line, but trying to demonstrate to you that there's a lot of value that you're going to get from that, and they should be very honest with you and open with you. Make sure you're comparing those military branches, so don't just because, I don't know, the U.S. Army recruiter comes into your high school and you're excited and you're interested in what that person has to share. Know that there might be an equal or a better opportunity if you compared it to the Marines, if you compared it to the Coast Guard. And so before you wind up channeling yourself down one specific path, take the time to explore your other options too. And then if you need some help in this process, consider having a third party in with you on it. I sit down with a lot of students with our U.S. Army recruiter because I do trust our recruiter, the students trust me, and so I kind of play negotiator or translator so that they kind of understand and they're hearing it in a way that they understand what they would be signing up for, or what they're getting themselves into, or to help them ask the right questions along the way. And then just to know that there are a couple of other pieces that you could be considering. There's the National Guard, or ROTC. If you're saying, I don't know that I, at this time and place, want to march right into a military career. And there are some ways to kind of skirt around the edges or to try a different avenue and still have a lot of those benefits that have been in this presentation. So if you do have questions about National Guard or ROTC, feel free to ask them. And as always, these are your advisors. Haley and I are happy to help you out. We would love to answer your questions. We would love to connect you with your local recruiters. We would love to give you some things to consider in this process. And finally, connect with us. Please check out our Future Center's website. You can follow us on Facebook. You can watch our videos in our library on YouTube. And so there will be links provided next to this presentation. Take care.